Hey guys, Drifter here. Today I want to talk about why my Xbox One makes me rage more than any piece of electronic equipment that I've ever owned in my entire life. To be perfectly honest with you, I think I have more fun working with old inkjet printers than I do with my Xbox One, and the crazy thing about it is that it doesn't need to be that way. The Xbox 360 worked great. I'm not a Sony Pony, I'm not a PlayStation fanboy or any of that sort of stuff. I didn't even own a PlayStation 3. I was very content and happy with my Xbox 360, and the core reason for that, even though it was, we'll say statistically or performance-wise inferior to the PlayStation 3, is because the interface was great. It was very smooth, easy to work through. I could join my friends' games and chat with them easily. It was a very straightforward social experience, but the Xbox One is the complete opposite of that in every single way because the party system barely functions or doesn't function at all. The voice chat is a complete mess. The proprietary headphone port completely buggered up everything. The interface is confusing, the friend system is confusing, and the amount of time and resources dedicated to this user interface that not a lot of people get to begin with is just completely wasted when you can be putting that toward a game. We're going to talk about all these sort of things today, and do be prepared. I'm probably going to curse a little bit and show more negative emotions than usual, because this is usually a very positive channel. We talk about uplifting ourselves and gamer fitness and getting better at the game and analytics and guides and really technical stuff, but this is an emotional thing for me, and it also kind of puts me in a bad spot because as a YouTuber, a lot of my video game related sponsorship deals are in some way tied to Xbox One or Microsoft, because that's a big deal in North America. So coming out and hating on their system is business-wise a terrible decision, but I just can't stand it anymore. It doesn't even feel right to work or promote anything related to a console that I wouldn't give to somebody. Like, I thought about giving mine away, but I was like, you know what, I really don't want anybody else to suffer through what I'm suffering. And the number one reason that I hate it is because it completely destroyed the social network that the Xbox is built around. Xbox 360, you hop in a game with your friends, you chat with people, like 8 out of 10 people have microphones. Xbox One isn't like that. I'm lucky to be able to get my friends in a game with me. I don't have a restricted NAT. I mean, not a strict NAT. I don't have a faulty console. I don't live in the middle of nowhere. I don't have a firewall. I don't have crazy networks. Nobody else does either. But every single Xbox One game I've played, and I do mean every single one, has had weird party creation issues. It's had weird issues with inviting people. I don't even invite people to parties anymore. We're going to talk about that in a minute. I struggled just to invite people to the game that I'm in, and I'm really happy when I can get like 2 or 3 of my friends in the game. I'm like, all right, that's it. That's close enough to a full party. Let's go. Because most of the time they just can't connect for some kind of weird reason, or the game doesn't support their networking, or it just doesn't work. Whereas on Xbox 360, it was incredibly easy. The party system is a complete mess. It was terrible on launch. We had the same issues with people joining. They would join and we would be talking on a different system and it would default to the Kinect, which sounded like an echo chamber, or they couldn't unplug theirs, or like my favorite thing is I could sit there and go, Xbox off, really loud, and it would blow through their speakers and pop up mid-game and like tell their console to turn off and crazy stuff like that. But the real issue is that people couldn't join, and when they could join, the only voice chat that really worked was the Kinect, which not everybody had or used or unplugged for privacy reasons, and that's because the Xbox One uses a proprietary headset port. And you're going to think, well, that's not so bad. Well, it is bad because nothing really supports it. Sometime in the previous generation, between PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, everybody decided they want to go and use gaming headsets. I, for one, held out on this for a very long time and used my TV speakers and my default mic, but eventually the time came where I've upgraded to gaming headsets like 80% of everybody else. That's just the standard thing that consumers do now. They play with gamer headsets for whatever reason, like it, love it, maybe they shouldn't do it, they do. Sony had this idea that we're going to make ours very easy. On each one of their controllers, they have a very standard PC audio port. I think that's 3.5 millimeter, 2.5 millimeter jack. I can't remember the exact millimeters, but it's just the standard one that you plug into the PC. You can plug almost any headset, almost any microphone directly into that port and it works fine. You can also plug any USB sort of headset or microphone or anything straight into the PlayStation 4 and it works fine. I can take the condenser super professional mic that I'm using right now and plug it straight into my PlayStation 4 and it'll just work. It's not an issue. Xbox One decided, if people have all of these headsets, I wonder if we could get some money from the secondary headset market. So they designed a proprietary port saying that it would increase game quality. Maybe I'm completely wrong about that. Maybe they just really wanted to increase game quality, but they designed this crazy looking port right here on my Xbox 360 controller, which I have never seen before ever, which meant when the game came out, it supported no headsets whatsoever, which meant that people that were using their gaming headsets to chat and communicate could no longer use the gaming headsets for anything other than just like TV audio. They couldn't communicate with it, and you couldn't use the Kinect for in-game chat, so you would either have to like dual up with the regular headset and your gaming headset that came with the thing. And then even later they released this stereo chat adapter, which is the most astoundingly mind-boggling decision, like backtracking thing I've ever seen in my life, because basically all it does is just a little converter for this weird little port into the exact same thing that the PlayStation 4 has built into their console and is on every PC ever. And it's like, you couldn't just put that in the controller to begin with? I don't even know. But then the stereo chat adapter didn't work for me. It didn't work for a lot of people. I actually had to upgrade the firmware on my controller in order to make it work, which is far more effort than any rational consumer should put into a device that is designed to be simple and plug and play, and mine didn't work properly. Now, a lot of people had theirs and they worked, or they worked close enough. Mine really didn't, so I went back to square one, not having a proper adapter. Now we're like a year and a half, year and a quarter post-launch, and as of right now, a year later, I know of 3 headsets that work properly with the Xbox One. 2 of them are Turtle Beaches and one of them is an Astro headset. The rest of them I'm not as familiar with, and almost everything that uses that weird little chat adapter doesn't work properly. But it's just crazy that that was done to begin with, and it really nuked the online community. On Xbox 360, I used to hop online and there'd be mics everywhere. Mics lighting up, people talking. Now admitted, it was Xbox, there was a lot of trash talk, it was a lot of crazy, silly stuff that probably wasn't the most appropriate, but it was a community that you could reach out and talk to people and react. That's not the case on Xbox One. Xbox One is a complete ghost town. It's a wasteland of microphones. Like, nobody is communicating. It's very antisocial, and that's a shame because it strips out that social experience that I really, really enjoyed, and this carries over to creating a party and chatting with my friends. All of my friends had this same issue. They all either had to buy new headsets for several $100s in order to be able to play and chat at the same time, but they had to do that several months after the console came out because they weren't manufactured at the time, or they had to buy the stereo adapter thing and try and make it work at, limited success there. So that's great. The entire social aspect of the Xbox One is destroyed, which is a shame because it's supposed to be the most social system. This is supposed to be the one where you can hop on and play with friends easily. You can't. It's really frustrating. The way I play my Xbox One now is I get on Skype or TeamSpeak and I hook other headsets up to it so I can chat with people, and I just run optical to like my mix amp so that I can hear the game audio, because using the in-game chat is completely worthless, and I never once did that on Xbox 360. It was so convoluted. Why would I do that when the game chat worked great? That doesn't work on Xbox One. I have to use third-party programs on my PC just to be able to play and chat with my friends when I can get them into the game. And the sad thing is, almost all the people I know do this. Very few people report a fully functional, happy Xbox One party system. Like, I'm going to say in the Call of Duty sphere, Microsoft sponsors Call of Duty. They pay for all the Call of Duty thing to be on Xbox One and all the COD pros. The professional players, they no longer use the game chat either. They used to use the party chat system on Xbox 360. They get in a party chat and talk with each other. They don't do that anymore. Nah, they get on TeamSpeak and Skype, or they run a daisy chain with their headsets or whatever, because they can't get the party system to work. Their job is playing this game on this console all day, and they can't figure out how to make it work. They just use the PC. That's embarrassing. It's screwed up. And even more complaints I have about the Xbox One is that the user interface is very, very confusing. The position of the friends list, the notifications not being necessarily the same as the messages, and the way they're displayed and the speed at which you can access them is very, very slow. Also, the weird following thing where you have to cross-follow each other to become friends, I find to be very weird. It's like, okay, so I add you as a friend, and then you independently add me as a friend, or we cross-follow, and then we become friends. I never truly figured that out. It never made as much sense as just sending a friend request like it used to be, like it is on pretty much every single social network that I can imagine, except Twitter. Twitter does the cross-follow thing, so maybe it's a little bit like Twitter. And the menus generally have been laggy for me. If I'm in-game and I hit View Gamer Card, or if I go back to my dashboard and I want to snap to anything, I'm going to be prepared to wait about 30 to 45 seconds. Like, alright, Xbox snap. I just sit here and wait, and it'll sit there and spin, do its little circle thing, take a very, very long time. It's not responsive. And the thing that pushed me over the edge today, that made me record this video, is I went to the store. I wanted to spend more money. I end up playing the Xbox One because as a YouTuber in North America, a lot of the things I do are Xbox One related, so I just gotta suck it up and deal with it, right? I go to the store because I'm looking to get a little bit of DLC, And the store doesn't work. The store is laggy. Like, I move over to another item and my console like whirs and is like struggling. It's like, I might load this, I might not. And I'm like, okay, well, you know, let me back out of the store. So hit the button to go home, and it kind of goes halfway home and then hangs in the menus and just sits there and whirs a little bit. Who designed this thing? Who thought this was a good idea to completely nuke the entire social aspect of the Xbox One, to give it a user interface that the majority of people don't like or don't understand, and then you dedicate like 8 or 10% of the games of the console's gaming resources to said interface, and it still hangs. It confuses me. I hope somebody from Microsoft is listening to this, because it's a hate video, but I don't want to hate this. I want to go back to my happy days where I play on Xbox 360 and it's relatively simple and it works and it doesn't break and it doesn't bug out and do weird things. I want to be able to invite my friends to a game and play and chat with them without running TeamSpeak or doing crazy things with my mix-amp, or all of us checking our firewalls and NATs, or trying some weird system to restart the game and recreate the lobby here and then do join party and leave multiplayer and all this kind of stuff. Because that shouldn't be happening. That shouldn't be necessary to play online on the Xbox One. And that's it. I just had to get this off my chest. I couldn't stand it anymore. And I hope that somebody out there somewhere is listening and that maybe these problems get addressed in the future. Drifter out.